What's everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Skids. Before we take a look at them, let's take a look at the packaging. So of course, on the front we have the Legacy logo. Of course, here he is in his car mode looking really cool. We have Transformers on the side, and on the side here we have two shots of Skids looking really cool. And on the back he transforms into 14 steps, a shot of his robot mode, a shot of his vehicle mode looking really cool. And if you want to, you can merge all the weapons into one really cool big one right there. That looks pretty cool. And on the side, of course, we have the Autobot Legacy design. So, of course, we have Optimus, Hot Rod, RC, Blaster, Bulkhead. We have Cybertron and Earth. And overall, the packaging looks really cool. So now, let's get into this review. We have Skids in his really cool Earth-based alt mode. Let's take a look at the details. Starting off at the very front, we have some nice yellow, some silver, and some black. Also, a little bit of red there for the grille section. Also, on the front hood section, we have some nice dark blue, nice red and white Autobot symbol there. Looking pretty good. For the main windows, we have some nice transparent blue plastic. And on the top, we have some nice black for another window there. On the side, of course, we have a nice silver and red striped design that looks pretty good. For the wheels here, they're also done in black. We do have a small little mirror design there done in some dark blue, which looks pretty cool. On the back here, we do have a nice fin section, nice exhaust pipes there. Also, I think there's like a little handle here for like the trunk or something. I think that's pretty creative and cool. So overall, a really cool looking alt mode in my opinion. It's actually very realistic. Honestly, if I just probably put this in front of you, would you actually know if this actually transformed into a separate figure? I don't think you would, because this just looks so realistic, so simple, and so cool. It rolls extremely well. It's very compact. It looks really cool. So of course there's ports all of this figure, so he can store his accessories. Let's take a look at those. So first off, it does have this really cool Energon infused axe. Of course, very blue. Of course, I like the crackle effect on the blade. That looks really good. Of course, a nice edge there for the blade. Handle, of course, a peg. Very simple, but looks really cool. A nice silver pistol there. Very nice. Of course, if you wanted to, you could put some blaster pieces onto there. Have more action expression onto the blaster. And then we have this double-barreled blaster here, which looks really cool. So 3 really good accessories. I'm actually very surprised this deluxe figure came with 3 accessories. That's usually not expected with a figure like this. So for storage, you can just plug this one right here, just like that. There we go. And these 2, it really does not matter. You can put them on either side. I'm just going to put this one on this side. That looks pretty cool. And then, of course, we can get this pistol and plug it on the other side, just like that. So this car looks super cool with all these accessories on here. I think that looks really cool. It's actually kind of funny because the car itself is very simple, but then you plug on all these missiles and guns. It just makes it look so crazy. So now let's get into some vehicle mode comparisons. Here we have him with Legacy Bulkhead. So very nice. You'll probably most likely see this car more than this military truck, I would say, in real life, but still 2 really cool trucks and cars to have. Very cool. Now for one more comparison, here he is with Legacy Select's DK2 Guard. Definitely probably the more colorful of the 2, but still very cool to have. They are both deluxe size figures. I think Skids here is a little bit more compact. He's a little bit more spread out on DK2 Guard here. So, definitely very nice. I will bring out several more comparisons for the robot mode after, of course, he's transformed, which is what you're going to do right now. For transformation, it's actually really simple. Let's get right into it. So what you're going to want to do is just loosen these doors right here, just like that, on both sides. You can get the wheels. You can put these in. These, of course, will be at the bottom of the feet. Then you can turn this around. You can get these panels here and just kind of start to unravel this whole leg section. So then you can untab this panel from here, so just do that. And how this will unravel is the waist section is actually inside this piece, so this will just be all moving down, just like that. So there we go. That's more aligned. And there we go. Then you can, of course, move the doors out. You can get the arms, bring these out as well, just like that. Bring it up and out, just like this. Then, what you're going to want to do is bring this whole section. You want to make sure to move this piece while you're moving this section, or the head will actually fly off. I actually did that several times. It was pretty crazy. Then you can bring up these panels just like this, and then this whole section will actually tab in. Rotate it at the shoulder, bring that section down, and then you're going to use that to swivel right there. Of course, do the same thing with the other arm. Swivel that. And there we have Skids in his really cool looking robot mode. Skids in his robot mode, he looks really cool. Let's take a look at the details. So, of course, starting with the door, we have that same silver and red mixture. Of course, that dark blue and light blue for the window. The head sculpt looks pretty good with that dark blue for the main helmet section. Some nice silver for the face. That light blue for the eyes. That looks really good. A nice Autobot symbol there, done in red and white. That naming grill section we saw from earlier looks really good. And of course, the arm is mostly a mixture of black and that dark blue, which looks really good. For the main waist section, we have some nice black and red for the crotch. Nice silver for the top of the leg, some black there, some red for the feet. And of course, on the side, we do have that card design, which looks pretty good. And on the back, it's actually pretty smooth. There's really not that much kibble at all. Overall, very, very nice. So now let's get into articulation. So for the head, it's on a ball joint, so it can rotate all the way around. It can look a little bit up, a little bit down. For the door, it can move out and in, so you can give him some pretty dynamic poses. For the arm, there's actually quite a bit of articulation. So there is a hinge here, so it can hinge in and out. Also, there is a hinge here, so it can hinge out and in. There's also rotation here. There is a swivel and elbow bends. Also, there is hand articulation, a full swivel, very tight one at that. And if you move these out of the way, there is a waist rotation, full 360. Now for the legs, there is a full splits. It can kick that far forward, that far back, and of course there is a swivel. There's also a knee bend. And there is an ankle pivot to a very good degree. So overall, articulation is definitely very standard for a deluxe size figure. He got kind of a little bit messy, so let me just straighten him up, and then let me get into all the accessories, and then some comparisons. Well, let's get into the accessories. Of course, I already did show them before in the vehicle mode. Let me show you now how they incorporate into the robot mode. So, of course, he comes with this really cool battle axe, so if you wanted to, you could plug that into his hand, so he could be slicing up some Decepticons and Predacons if you wanted to. Looks pretty cool. And of course, if you wanted to, you could give him his double-barreled blaster. That looks pretty cool. And of course, there is a port on the back side of him, and you could put that pistol in there for storage if you wanted to. That looks pretty cool. But if you want to use all three accessories at the same time, there is actually a way. So if we just wiggle this axe out of his hand, take this blaster out of his hand, just kind of straighten him up a little bit, just like that. So we can actually plug all these in together. So if we get this pistol here, we can plug this in just like that. And there we go. And then if we get the big battle axe, you can plug this in just like this. Which, to be fair, this looks a little bit hodgepodgey to me, but it looks okay. So if you wanted to, of course, you can just get his hand here, plug that into place, and there we have the really cool, combined blaster, the Ultra Blaster, whatever you want to call it. That looks pretty cool in my opinion. So very, very nice. I don't know how often I'll use that, but, some people like it, some people might. I think it looks just okay, in my opinion. But overall, that's pretty much it for the accessories. So now, let's get into some comparisons. For a quick Legacy comparison, here we have Legacy Bulkhead, Legacy Skids, and Legacy Deluxe Class RC. So definitely three really good figures that I highly recommend. Probably the worst one is RC. She's a good figure, of course. I like her robot mode and alt mode, just transformation isn't the most fun. I think these two here are really solid figures in my opinion. I really do like Skids here. I love his car mode and his robot mode. Bulkhead the same, I love his accessories. I actually found Skids at Target, so if you're wondering where can I find these figures, look at Target, look at Walmart, because there was actually several of these Legacy figures here. I think there was 2 Bulkheads, there was like 3 Skids, and maybe 1 RC when I went to Target, so definitely look at your Targets, because there could be some there. I actually am on the verge of maybe getting Laser Optimus Prime. I might actually be able to complete the first wave very soon, so definitely stay tuned on the channel for future Legacy reviews. And again, which one is your favorite between the Autobot bunch of Legacy figures so far? Let's move into some more comparisons. We have the last set of comparisons. Here we have Dragstrip, Skids, Skywarp, and Iguanus. I have to say probably Dragstrip and Skids are my 2 favorite figures of Legacy so far, of course. This is just the first wave, and I do not have Optimus or Kickback yet. I actually do have Kickback on the way, hopefully Optimus too. But yeah, these two figures here are really solid. I love the robot modes and alt modes. They're really cool, really well done, and Iguana's here is definitely my favorite core class comparison. His review should be out or will be out very soon, depending on when you're watching this video, so make sure you go look for that on the channel, and I will review Skyward very soon as well. Let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite two Legacy figures? Of course, core class, any class, does not matter. Let me know your two favorite figures so far. And also let me know, which figure would you like for them to put in Legacy in future waves? So I think that's pretty much it for the comparisons, and let's now move on to the final. So now for the final thoughts for Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Skids. I think this figure is great. Actually, when I was getting this, I was actually kind of concerned, because I watched several reviews, and they were kind of mixed. They were like, okay, it's an okay figure, and yes, he does have hollow gaps. Several people criticized for his legs having a little bit of hollow gaps here and there, but honestly, it's a deluxe size figure, so it's sort of expected, of course. Some figures have it, some figures don't. It's only $20, so really, I'm not that bothered by it. I think the robot mode is amazing. I love the head sculpt. I like the accessories. I really do like how they can combine into this one really big ultra cannon weapon. Not really sure what you would call it. It's pretty cool. It's kind of a hodgepodge, depending on what you think. Some views it will look good, some views it won't. I really do like the battle axe. That looks really cool. If you're a long-time viewer of mine, you know I love swords, axes, and shields, and whenever they do them, they really do them good. The two silver weapons, they're pretty good. Very simple, of course, but I think they're pretty cool. And it's actually very nice that a deluxe set figure comes with 3 accessories. That's pretty crazy, because some leaders only come with 1, which is crazy. Transformation, of course, is very simple. I've been able to transform this figure super fast, within like 5 seconds, because it's such a simple, smooth transformation, which actually sometimes is a good thing, because if you don't want a super complicated one to transform, and you just want to fiddle with something, you can easily just grab Skids here and transform back and forth as much as you want, and it's super easy. Actually, also his joints, I want to say his joints are very, very tight and very, very good. I just want to add one note when transforming this figure from vehicle to robot. Be aware of the back panel, because if you do not move it while you're moving the chest piece, the head will pop off. I did remind that earlier in the review. I just want to say it again, just for you to be aware, because I actually did that several times and I almost lost it. So be aware, you will have to move that at the same time, or just have it out of the way, because if you don't, it could pop off and you could lose the head, which is not good. The car mode is so good. Definitely one of my favorite Earth-based vehicle modes just since a long time. Not saying the other ones they made recently are bad, just this one is so good. It's so clean, it's so simple, and it's very compact. Again, from some views, if you just give this to a random person and you're like, does this transform, yes or no, they would probably say, why would you think this transforms? It's just a toy car. I honestly believe people would say that, because it is so realistic and so pure. I think the only thing that really gives it away, of course, from transforming is there is a head visible on the bottom. Just, of course, from the top, I don't think many people could tell. I love the car mode. It's super simple, super fun. I actually do think, rumored is that they're going to do several repaints of this mold, which I definitely will get, because I love this mold so far. Hopefully, of course, the other molds will be as tight and, of course, as well painted as this one. I like the nice blue paint apps. The windows look really good. Just an amazing figure. Really, really good. I think he's not as good as Dragstrip. That could, of course, be because Dragstrip is my favorite Senticon, so I might have a little bit of bias on that, but I guess, let's just say if Dragstrip was not made, he would probably be my favorite deluxe of Wave 1. Of course, I do not have Kickback yet, so I will, of course, maybe redo that assessment or judgment whenever I get him, so stay tuned for that review. Also, Optimuses, let me know what you think of Skids in the comment section below, and I think that's it, so I'll see you next time.